Well, the Fever are coming off a win in LA less than 48 hours ago. It is Washington's first game since Sunday. They'll have a significant rest advantage as we enter game number 3 of the WNBA season for the Fever and the Mystics here from downtown Indianapolis. And here is that impressive second-year full pro Kiki Iriafen, who draws the foul on her first possession. Starting lineup for Washington includes a new face, Cody McMahon, who missed the first 2 games due to injury. Georgia Amore questionable with right knee injury management, but she is available and starting as well. Iriafen off the mark on her first free throw. She was an all-star as a rookie and has seemingly raised the bar to start her second season, averaging 16 points, 14 rebounds for those 2 games. And that front court of Iriafen and Shakira Austin has been quite formidable here in the first couple of games of the season. Austin on a handoff to Sophie Cunningham, who's coming off a 12-point performance. Mitchell catch and shoot, and she knocks down her first 3.
Elsie Mitchell, great sign starting there. She struggled a bit from the 3-point this season. And one of those things where you see it going once, feeling good from it.
Mitchell enters the night tied for the league lead in scoring at 27 points per game. At times she has been an admitted slow starter in her career. She is off to a red-hot start in 2026. Clark looking for Mitchell. They were not on the same page. Cunningham able to rescue. Clark from way outside. Billings battling underneath. And Billings knocks it down.
What an addition Monique Billings has been to this team, and she brings the energy. That was her first game last lineup with the Sparks, and see her get, her first touches. Looking good.
Shakira Austin has a double-double in her 2 games this year. She goes right to work and banks it home.
Oh yeah, that physical play. She's one of those players that, again, loves to bang. She loves the contact. You got to be able to know where she's at.
Boston, deep position, and she won't miss from there. Aaliyah Boston, who was brilliant in this building on opening day and then got into some serious foul trouble in LA, fouled out, scored just 4 points. Here's Georgia Amore, puts on the brakes, extra pass. Corner 3 ball, falls for Cody McMahon, the rookie out of Ole Miss, who has not been available for their first 2 games. Tonight is her WNBA debut, and there's her first points. The head coach for the Indiana Fever is Stephanie White, her 4th year with the Fever, and 2nd in this stint. Sydney Johnson, the head coach for Washington. His father, an Indiana basketball Hall of Famer, spoke to just how much coming back to Indiana means for him. Boston drills a 3. And Indiana, who struggled a bit from the 3-point line here in their first couple of games, have knocked down a couple of early ones here in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, Leah Boston really working on that 3 ball this season, and she's already hit a couple.
That is her 2nd of the year. She is 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. Amore being hounded in the backcourt, and she turns it over. Clark turns on the Jets. Cross-court pass sets up Cunningham, who buries a triple.
Fever are red hot in their Rebel red jerseys tonight. My goodness, they've really opened up that 3 ball here. They've already hit 3.
This Fever offense, 96 points per game in their first 2. 2nd in the league in offensive rating. They have looked ready to go from the opening tip. And an offensive foul on Washington as the Mystics turn it over.
It's one of those things when you know your teammate just hit a 3, it's almost infectious. Call for the ball, hands high. It's a great decision here. Do a skip pass to that easy pass, and then here it is, Sophie Cunningham knocking it down.
Clark working on Amore, tries to shake the rookie. Austin this time will shot fake the 3, go right back to work, fades, fires, and rolls up, but there's Billings for the rebound and the stick back. Fever did not have Monique Billings in their opener. She played well in her Fever debut on Wednesday in Los Angeles. Here's Here's Austin inside, aggressive take, shot won't fall for Cassandra Prosper, who just checked in. She started the first 2 games. It's McMahon in her spot here tonight as the Fever force a jump ball.
It's one thing. The Mystics know how to go to the boards with all force. One of the things about it, that front court, if you don't match that physical play, they will punish you for it. Leading the way, Kiki doing Kiki things, playing big girl basketball right there.
And Boston able to win the tip for Indiana. Fever have hit 6 of their first 8 shots. Here comes Clark behind the back to the rim, but too strong once she got there. She has really attacked the paints here in her first couple of games. Making about 3 more 2s per game than she took in her first 2 years. Iriafin, the spin, and pretty finish.
That's it. Just poise, patience, great footwork, never rush down low.
Play with the second fastest pace of play in the WNBA. Stephanie White wants her group pushing even off of made buckets. And they've caught opponents not ready numerous times this year. On the other hand, Washington 13th in the league in pace, so they want to play more of a possession game, and we'll be watching the tempo of this one closely here tonight. Billings spinning inside as she took the inbound pass, which was intended for Lexi Hull. Foul on the Mystics.
And like you said, Pat, that's a tough thing to match up against when you are doing the half court more so in practice than playing at a fast pace. Hard to adjust, but you've got to make those in-game adjustments to get the win.
Clark feeds inside for Dantas, who lost the handle, and Indiana turns it over.
That's good defense there by Washington. Just staying head on a swivel, knowing where the ball is at along with your player.
Well, so much focus on this Fever defense, which allowed 107 in this building on opening day, then recovered to hold LA to just 78 points in game number 2. And Hull able to just wall off Citron. She's in a race for it. Hull pulls it down and then put that one a little bit behind Billings. And Indiana gives it right back, but they have not had Lexi Hull, at least for the first 2 games, for her typical array of minutes. She's playing about 14 minutes per game as she works her way back from that injury, which kept her out of the entire preseason. She is a difference maker on the defensive end of the floor. And on the offensive end, Citron's a difference maker.
Through the contact, it don't matter. The float game, all the way to the basket. She's got it all.
Clark circles around and can't knock it down from the mid-range. Billings, another offensive rebound. She's been really active. Clark backing up and dropping a 3.
That'll get you going. Again, I spoke earlier about the confidence from Caitlin Clark. Mr. Make, it never wavers. You never see her get discombobulated. She's going to go up again.
She was 3 of 17 from the three-point line leading into that shot, and she spoke about how her confidence hasn't waned a bit. She knows it's coming, but an answer comes from Washington's Alex Wilson. 32-year-old rookie out of Australia. Here is Clark. Oh, yeah!
Back-to-back threes. This is going to be a good game. You better put a hand up, find the body.
Iriafin has the size advantage. But that was defended well by Clark. 2 threes for Caitlin Clark in the opening 5+ minutes. The Fever point guard is
great. The hardest part for her has all been the aspect of coming back from injury and fully trusting her body again. But she said the best thing she could do right now for this team is play make. Get to the paint, dish out to her teammates, and also finish strong near the rim. And also of note, you guys, with Caitlin's 3rd assist tonight, she now moves into 5th all-time in Fever assists.
Kelsey, thank you. It's quite remarkable when you consider she was averaging 22 points per game and that 3 ball was not yet falling. It is a dangerous proposition now that it is. And for Indiana, they're falling for everybody. Here's Damiris Dantas.
6 for 7 from the 3 ball. And like Kelsey said, so beautifully said, it's a mental game. You can't get too high and too low. Shots making or not, you still got to find a way to play and make an impact.
Corner 3 spins out. That was Prosper. Clark was 6 points, 3 assists, and you can just feel that confidence oozing out of her here in the first quarter. And there's a Foul on Washington, and this is what we are seeing a whole lot more here in 2026. The freedom of movement, emphasis by the officials to allow natural movement to play, to keep the game from getting old. Seeing about 3 more fouls per game called with this new rule as players get adjusted to it. Here's the local product, Ty Harris knocking it down. Indiana's hit 10 of their first 14 shots here tonight.
Now, talk about focus. I don't know if that's just being back in front of the home crowd or knowing the baskets, but the offense is really fluid right now.
Aggressive drive, Cody McMahon, and she's had a terrific WNBA debut here. 5 points in 4 minutes. Down to 3 earlier.
Talk about fearless.
Clark trying to shake off Prosper, but Prosper recovers well for the block. Back door, it's Prosper. Up a long stride, shot won't fall. Here is Clark, waiting for reinforcements. Off the Timpson screen, and McMahon was too aggressive. Forced her way through it. That is the 14th foul on Washington.
There it is. Again, we talked about that tempo and that pace, finding your man early, just a smidge too aggressive. I think that freedom of movement is Caitlin Clark laid out there.
Kelsey Mitchell back in for Indiana. She'll sub in for Clark. Here is Harris, turns the corner, gets inside. Tried to hand off Timpson. Somehow got it out to Mitchell. Shot clock down to 7. Mitchell just blows by Prosper, but couldn't finish inside. 6'7" rookie Lauren Betts, a really impressive young player out of UCLA. Helped them win a championship. Comes down with the rebound, but Indiana forces the turnover. Mitchell puts on the brakes, can't get the roll. Offensive rebound, Timpson, who had it stripped. Good hands there by Wilson. And they'll say Timpson hit it out of bounds. Had a couple good looks inside, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, quick hands down low. You know, it's the hardest, one of the hardest jobs out here is to be a ref in this day and age. And, you know, especially the home crowds, the crowds at home, you can never get on everybody's great side. And I know they're doing their best, but boy, women are physical.
Georgia Amor back in. It is her rookie season. And an inspirational story. She suffered a torn ACL. 3rd day of camp last year. Missed all of what would have been a rookie season a year ago. She is a highly touted prospect, 6th pick in the draft, Amor, and she is the starting point guard, although they're watching her minutes. She didn't play a lot of those late minutes in their overtime loss to New York on Sunday.
Yes. And where did she go to school at again? Remind me.
I believe where you went. Kentucky.
There it is. Wildcats unite.
Austin fakes left, goes right. Shot won't fall. Dantas the rebound. Harris looking to push. Deflected in the backcourt. Austin comes up with the steal. And Cunningham is called for the foul.
It's a great deflection. Again, that tempo, in order to slow the Indiana Fever down, you have got to know where your man is, get deflections on the ball, see if you can match their intensity. Doing things just like that is a great step forward to get that done.
Here is the 5th-year pro out of Ole Miss, Shakira Austin, who was the 3rd pick back in 2022. Now, she is all of 25 years old, but she is the 2nd longest tenured WNBA player on this roster. Michaela Onyenwere, who is still out due to injury, has played 1 more year than her. Sydney Johnson said they really rely on those 2. They're young players in this league, but on this roster, there are vets.
Yeah.
Harris with some trouble in the backcourt being swarmed. Indiana got to hurry to get it across. They just do. It'll be 15 seconds on the shot clock. Mitchell, handoff Timpson. Bounce pass Timpson, a little behind her. Indiana's gotten sloppy here on their last few possessions.
Yeah.
Terrific handoff Citron. Got 2 All-Stars. Really the centerpieces around what Sydney Johnson and Washington are building. 3rd and 4th pick a year ago. Each an All-Star in their rookie season. Only the 2nd time 2 rookies on the same team have ever been named to the All-Star team. And all these young players in the mix. 12 of the 14 players on the roster are in their 1st or 2nd season. This is as dramatic of a rebuild as you've seen, but with so much talent, it's not hard to imagine this team being a playoff team this year, being a contender in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, that's one of the perks about being raw and trying to find your identity. You know, you can make it whatever you want it to be, and they have time to do so.
Cunningham on the drive, kick out Harris. Cunningham drives on Citron, gets to the rim, shot too strong. Well, Indiana was getting anything they wanted for the first 5 or 6 minutes of this one. Sydney Johnson called a timeout, and Washington has tightened the clamps defensively in a major way here. Beavers still have a 9-point lead as Austin, aggressive take and aggressive finish.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was said in that timeout, but it's obviously working. I think it started with the defense, or they have really turned it up here and doing such a good job forcing Indiana into some bad shots.
Mitchell tiptoeing the baseline. She is fouled. That is Washington's fourth, so they did have one to give. As McMahon picks up her second foul in 7 minutes.
Yeah, she's aggressive. She wants it. She's feisty. She's got some fresh legs. She's making her debut here. Trying to make a statement.
Mitchell, shot clock down to 5, and Cunningham is pushed. That's a bad foul if you are Sonia Citron. It comes off the ball. It comes 35 feet from the hoop, and it's going to result in free throws for a good free throw shooter. Sophie Cunningham at 86% on her career.
Yeah, just a bit too aggressive, and we've seen it called all throughout the WNBA, not just this game, in the sense of establishing. You have to be able to have that freedom of movement. And although this is, in totality, a physical game, you still got to know when it's too much pressure applied.
Sophie Cunningham knocked down a couple of threes in Indiana's first victory of the season in LA on Wednesday. They hit one here tonight. There's her first free throw. There is what has quickly become a fan favorite here in Indiana, Raven Johnson. Her tenacity at the point guard position defensively. And how she and Caitlin Clark have seemingly formed a friendship overnight. Yeah. It's been fun to watch.
Nothing but great things to say about each other. They push each other. It's fun to watch.
Here's Amor, the fake. Amor, the finish.
Inside hand finish. Beautiful work.
And Kelsey Mitchell will just dribble away the rest of the first quarter. The Fever hits 6. What they want to do, bury you underneath, use their size, their physicality. As the Fever shot 53% from the field, but Washington 57% in that first quarter. Boston backing her way on Ariafin. Ariafin sticks right with her. Good defense, better offense. Big shot, Boston.
Got to give it to Kiki right there. She played phenomenal for the duration of time as Boston had that. Just better offense there, like you said, and just really, really poised on Boston's end.
Citron gives it up. Austin now will try on the other end and draw the foul on Boston.
Again, taking a look. Didn't bite right there on the shot fake. Forced Aaliyah Boston to a maybe not so comfortable shot there, but she made it look easy.
Shakira Austin dealt with a lot of injury in 2023 and 2024, hip problems throughout a couple of seasons which sidelined her, and I think some people forgot just what a tantalizing young product and prospect she is, and still remains at age 25. It's easy to forget how young she is with how young her teammates are, but she had a standout rookie season and is putting together a brilliant start here to 2026.
Yeah, she's that leadership role. She's communicating. She's passionate. She's trying to lead by example. She's talking to her teammates. So all some really good things that she's able to add to her game.
Inside, back for Boston. Shot too strong. Deflection out to Citron. Washington doesn't run a lot, but they've got numbers here. Citron, Amor, knocks down a triple.
Great movement there. Great decision to pass it up, and a great finish.
Oh, and Mitchell is set back by Austin. She tried to beat the Mystics center back, And Shakira goes step for step.
That's what we're talking about. Again, it's not always about who's scoring the most points here, and she's just getting it done on that defensive end.
Mitchell launches and misses on a three. Citron just 2 points in that first quarter. That'll give her 5, and Washington's back within 1. A 13-point deficit. Star back on the floor here for Indiana. Mitchell stop and go and turns it over.
Not quite the start you want to come, especially out of a timeout. You want to be able to get in there. That first play that's drawn up, execute, get the momentum back and energy back into the building. But a great defensive pressure there by the Mystics. They just turned it up. About midway through the first quarter, I've seen a real drastic change on how they decided to play the ball.
Shot making on great display here. The two teams are 10 of 13 from the three-point line as Cunningham is called for the foul. That's the second foul on Cunningham. Billings has 2 as well for Indiana. Austin on Boston. This is going to be a fun matchup all night. Citron shot fakes the three, lob inside. Austin, extra pass, Prosper, and Washington has taken the lead.
Great offensive movement there. Talk about execution. They went exactly where they were supposed to be. Finish that play with a bucket.
Clark weaving through traffic and then wanted to set up Billings, who was fouled inside before she could get it in there.
Man, great court awareness there. Austin was able to distribute the basketball.
So a 10-0 run for the Mystics has given Washington the lead. Billings spinning inside, and Billings unable to finish. That was defended well also. Austin and Iriefin have done a nice job. The Fever have just 4 points in the paint here so far tonight. Amor circles around, back to Austin, charging right up the middle. It's a 12-0 run.
Mystics are cooking now. Again, young team, super raw, trying to figure out their identity. I think we're getting a glimpse of it here tonight.
Clark off the Boston screen, extra pass. Oh, can't stop the bleeding. It was amazing just how dramatically this momentum has turned here in Indianapolis. It looked like the Fever were threatening to run away with it early.
Yep.
Now momentum all on the visiting Mystics side as Citron pours on 2 more. The Mystics are shooting 68% from the field.
I mean, fearless. Just playing so loose without any fear definitely helps the confidence.
Indiana just out of sorts here in the second quarter. Mitchell trying to turn the corner. There's a foul first. The only bucket the Fever have here in the second was that Boston finish over Iriefin, which was defended very well.
It's a great point guard awareness going through the buckets. Really freed up Austin to have a straight line drive. About dunked it.
Austin with double-doubles in her first 2 games. 10 points here tonight. Clark misses on a 3-ball. Offensive rebound. Johnson was the one that tipped that one to Hull. Out to Boston. Second chance opportunity. Clark, here is Billings on the drive, and the scoop won't fall. Prosper, extra pass. 3-ball skips off for Wilson. And that is Washington's 3rd foul here of the second quarter.
The inside out, the pace right now, the sharing of the basketball. The Mystics are doing something phenomenal right now. Not only because they're a young team, but just their attention to detail and how they're able to adjust in in-game situations.
Fever just 1 of 8 with a turnover here in the second quarter. Clark drives into Betts, gets inside, kick out for a Billings 3, and that goes down.
much needed basket by the Indiana Fever as they're trying to rally this run here.
Billings has hit 2 threes in 3 games for the Fever. She had hit just 14 in her entire career coming into this year, but it's something she's been working on. 10 of those 14 came last season with Golden State.
As she just lines the ball up, just beautiful fashion. Looks like she's really been working on extending and stretching that game so that she can stretch the floor. And also has the opportunity to put it on the floor as well.
Rory Harmon has checked in for her first minutes. Rookie guard out of Texas. Dugalich inside for her UCLA teammate Betts. And Betts was fouled. And that is Indiana's 4th.
Let me tell you why that worked. It was the decision early that Betts was going to get the better position inside. And once she buries you, it's hard to beat. She's physical, she's tall, long, athletic. She's going to get in there and get some hands on that ball.
You know, most rookies have to build chemistry with each other, the rest of the roster, pretty quickly. Those two, I think, know a thing or two about each other. Rosberg turns the corner, can't finish inside. There's Betts battling, and she draws the foul. With 5 of 6 at home, they lost the home opener, and they've lost a 13-point lead. It is a 25-9 run for the Mystics dating back late first quarter over the last 13 minutes. Austin has led that charge for Washington. 12 points, couple rebounds, couple assists. Amor looking for Austin. Boston trying to wall her off. Austin drives, step through, maybe got away with an extra step, couldn't finish.
She keeps it high. I like that. That's a great addition to her game and still being able to be physical.
Clark trying to fight through the Hines-Allen screen. Clark gets inside, kick out for a Boston 3. Well, it's not a bad look, but when Indiana's in the flow of their offense, they're getting their shooters those looks.
Yep.
Washington has just frustrated Indiana defensively here for about the last 12 minutes of game action. Amor launches from way outside. Ariafen hits the deck. There's a whistle. Both teams are in the penalty here. Looks like they have this on Indiana.
Can't see what that applied pressure there behind. As that Kelsey Mitchell, but bodies hit the deck. We're going to be feeling that one tomorrow.
It looked like McMahon was the one that ran into Ariafen, but you couldn't tell if Mitchell pushed her.
Right.
So Clark, Boston, Billings, and Cunningham all with 2 fouls, and now Mitchell has her first. Ariafen 1 of 2 from the line. Here is Clark working off the screen. Bounces for Boston. Back for Clark. She is open and can't cash in. That was Indiana's best look of the quarter.
Yeah.
It's been a frustrating quarter of offense. Just 9 points for the Fever. Hines-Allen just wrenches that out of there. Mitchell comes away. It's 1-on-3. Mitchell, step back. Well short. Well, she does a nice job to get a 2-for-1 there. The Fever should have one more possession.
Yep. I was just about to say, that was a regular shot there, but a great IQ, high IQ shot, trying to get an extra possession.
Ariafen, step back on Boston, too strong. And Indiana with a final look here in the first half. Hines-Allen picks up her dribble, 3 seconds to play. Bull hoists. And that really a summation of how things have gone for the Fever since the opening 7 minutes. An offensive explosion for Indiana out of the gates, but Washington has tightened the grip defensively. Just 29% on 2-point shots in the first half, as Caitlin Clark and this Indiana Fever offense looks to get reorganized. They were terrific right out of the gates to start the first quarter as Boston goes back door. Mitchell off balance. Couldn't finish inside. And the recovery defensively has been really good for Washington tonight. McMahon not able to finish on the other end. Here is Cunningham, lob ahead, and Mitchell lays it in.
Great defense to offensive transition there. Miss the bunny, come back, don't hang your head. See if you can get another bucket. That's exactly what Kelsey Mitchell was able to do.
Fever want to play at a breakneck pace, but had just 2 fast break points in the first half. Here's Citron driving on Clark, 22 on 22, and Citron rolls it in.
Citron, again, another player that is in her second year that looks like a vet already as she's able to control the tempo.
Boston, 7 first half points going right at Iriafin. Iriafin able to protect the rim. That's been the story of the first half. Boston had it knocked away by Billings, and it will stay here with the Mystics as we check back in with Kelsey Casper.
Well, guys, at halftime, I spoke with Fever assistant Karima Christmas-Kelly about that second quarter offensively, and she says they want to see more ball movement, especially in the pick and roll, and just make some more simple passes. She felt like they were over-dribbling. They need to be a little bit more mindful of where their shooters are, and also defensively. Steph White has been saying it all game. We need to find more consistency on the defensive end and play more together as a group.
Kelsey, thank you. And speaking of ball movement, what a find there from Amor. We got caught up midair and then split a double team with the pass.
Yeah, made the stink face on that one. That was beautiful. And she was up in the air, which coaches teach you not to do that, but you can do it flawlessly as Amor. I'd do it again too.
Clark got a handoff from Boston. She'll bounce it back for Boston. Extra pass. Cunningham short on a 3. Amor crossing over. Boston had to switch inside. Oh, and it freed up Iriafin. And a great job by Boston to kick that one away because Iriafin was home free.
Yeah. So that mouse in the house situation there was about to be Kelsey Mitchell, who, you know, plays bigger than what she is, but that would have been a tough one to stop.
McMahon drives by Clark. Iriafin hangs and finishes.
Great ball movement, court awareness by the rook. Second year.
Mitchell held on the Boston pass.
It's a little over aggressive there by Clark. And straight line drive, that's where the money makers are. And on the defensive end for the Mystics, they're not allowing a lot of downhill attacks. They're sucking it into the paint, making it extremely difficult.
Clark the switch on to Austin. She'll go with a bank shot, but it won't go down. Clark 2 for 11 here. Indiana 36-13 since the Fever had a 26-13 lead. Indiana looking for any sort of momentum. So far, it has not come their way. Whistle off the ball as Amor ultimately hits the deck.
Washington, number 8, Georgia Amor.
Is on Georgia Amor. It's her third. Clark will drive at Amor, goes behind the back, gets inside, triple teamed in there, and draws the foul. And that is already the 14th foul on Washington. So if you're Indiana here, you have no momentum. You're struggling to get in the flow of your offense. But you've got an opportunity to live at the free throw line here this quarter as Clark draws the foul. And really there were a couple of fouls on that play. And a technical has been called on Shakira Austin. Well, I can see why Austin was frustrated, but Clark was bumped by Amor before she even got there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Did they assess the foul too? Austin, yeah, they did. So coming back, I can, again, see the frustration. Really didn't need to reach in there. She's got the size advantage. Go ahead and see if you can make a play on the ball as the shot goes up.
Well, you've got Clark on an off night. If you're Washington, you hate to see her even put one through. You know, it doesn't take much to get her going. Doesn't take Mitchell much to get going either, and Mitchell banks it home. So a three-point possession there for the Fever. McMahon wide open, but misses on a 3 ball. And that's out of bounds off of Indiana. Aaliyah Boston is hopping mad. And will Stephanie White challenge? She is asking for a challenge. Right now, the coach has not twirled the finger.
Oh, yeah.
It did look like it hit Iriafin last, but Stephanie White doesn't want to roll the dice here. And if it's not conclusive, even if the player does think it is off of the opponent, you got to be careful when to challenge. Clark, shot out of a cannon, hesitates. Trying to set up Billings here. Cunningham curls, kick out Mitchell. Washington just there every step of the way as Mitchell gets inside, it hangs and falls off.
Yeah. Again, they're doing such a good job. Just as soon as the ball is put on the ground, they're sinking into that red zone and not letting anything easy go.
Citron, lob inside, deep position Austin, and Billings head to Fowler. So Shakira Austin, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Will head to the line for her 5th and 6th free throws here tonight.
Number 0, Shakira Austin.
Enhance the way you WNBA with WNBA ID. You can easily sign in across devices, get personalized content, and unlock VIP access to the league. Scan the QR code to create your free account here today. Austin now 5 of 6 from the line, but Citron pulls down the offensive rebound. Iriafin going right back to work.
Just out-hustled right there. I mean, the 50-50 balls, you got to know where they're at. Come down
Clark,
there.
step back, but misses on a 3. Offensive rebound, Billings. Back in. Citron took quite a hit there at midcourt.
Yeah.
On an uncalled out screen. It was legal. She just didn't see it.
Yep, got to talk.
Now it's Citron who ducks in. Bank shot is good. Clark trying to outrun the entire Washington defense, and there is that 5th foul on the Mystics. So while the Fever offense still in disarray, here is their opportunity, but Citron showing off her ability in the post.
Yeah, just was able to cut the face of Kelsey Mitchell there, got great position, and that's big guard energy there. She was able to float that, and the banks are open apparently.
Fever still shooting at just barely over 30% from 2-point range. They are typically well over 50% on their 2-point shots. And they've gone cold from the perimeter, just 1 of their last 12. So at least for the time being, this might be the spot for the Fever to try to get back in it from the foul line. And Clark knocks down the pair.
But that's a good point, Pat. I mean, when things aren't falling, the defense isn't looking right, you still got to find ways to dig yourself out of the hole, and it's not letting your energy and your effort waver. You still got to find a way.
Iriafin on Billings. Iriafin spins, fires, and the bank shot goes down.
My goodness, can we get a Kiki package for this half? This is beautiful work right here. She's going to work early.
Cunningham off the Boston screen. She launches and misses. Harmon touched that one last, and it'll stay here with Indiana. You gotta love the attempt there by Rory Harmon, who knocked it out right in front of the official and then said, Washington ball. Never hurts to try, right?
I love that. Another rookie coming in, trying to really put her stamp on this team. The point guard leader team.
Here's Ty Harris back in for Indiana. Boston shot fakes the 3. Got the rookie Betts on her. Betts with a lot of size, and Boston draws the foul. That is the 3rd foul on Betts. And Boston will shoot 2. And now a word from State Farm.
You know who puts in the work like you, Caitlin? State Farm. They help you get the coverage that fits your life and budget. Speaking of work, I haven't taken a game off in almost 20 years.
You got somewhere else to go?
Maybe. No.
There's just been a lid on the rim for Indiana here tonight. 33% from the field. Boston just missed 2 free throws. Now Washington's defense deserves a ton of credit for that. Especially to have a group this young that is that locked in on the defensive end of the floor.
I'm telling you, just the execution from the scouting report to the game plan. They won it.
That's an offensive foul on Lauren Betts. Going to be called for the hook on Boston. If you're the Fever here, your trio of Clark, Mitchell, and Boston, you're trying to get one of them going. There is that hook.
Yeah, they were on it.
Mitchell sets up Harris. Boston just out-muscles Betts for the rebound. Betts had position. Now Boston goes right back to work underneath through a double team and draws the foul. Dugalich is pleading for a challenge as Boston was in the middle of that UCLA sandwich.
Yeah, just trees amongst the trees. Maybe could have gone a different way there. There was a shot fake. There was no movement. Kind of a heave there by Leah Boston.
Boston is a good free throw shooter, 80% coming into tonight, despite missing on that previous pair. Aisha Hines-Allen back in for Indiana as Monique Billings will take a rest. And Boston 2 for 2 from the line. Dugalich with the shot clock at 10. Backdoor pass, Prosper hauls it in, one dribble, a lot of contact. First there's a travel.
I've always said it, the defense that kind of gets you over that hump, especially when you're not shooting the ball well. It's the defense that can never waver. And as ugly as this game has been for the Indiana Fever, and up and down, they're only down by 8. So, or sorry, 12. Could be a lot worse. Where's their, oh, no, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm taking it myself.
Never doubt your instincts. Harris, Boston, wide open. Nice block out there from Cassandra Prosper. There's McMahon charging into the defense, but couldn't finish. Boston not afraid to run some point here. Ahead to Mitchell. She will launch and bury a 3. Fever back within 5. This hometown crowd looking for any excuse to find something.
It really does. I'm telling you, just studying this group, they're a team that runs off of a lot of emotions and want to go out there and have fun. So, and they can make big-time plays.
Dugalich feet inside, deep position. Betts can't finish. Offensive rebound, and she rolls it in.
Talk about the speed there. She was able to turn around and find where the ball is and get a quick note where the ball is going to be.
Boston to switch on to Harmon. That's a major advantage. They try to repost in there with Dugalich. Harris drives on Harmon, who cuts her off. Hines-Allen back for Harris. Indiana out of sync here. Betts knocks it away. Shot clock down to 4.
The tenacity on defense from the Washington Mystics. They've just proven themselves on defense. They are executing flawlessly on this plan right now.
Boston sees two. Kick out. Hines Allen wide open, but misses on a three. Hull through three white jerseys, knocked it off the backboard, but ultimately it's Area Finn able to control. Area Finn hobbled on her way back up the floor. Austin size advantage on Hull and cashes in.
The work early by Austin made that pass so easy. There's no recovery on that.
Prosper hounding Hull in the backcourt. And Hines Allen, offensive foul. She's frustrated, but looked like she got that chicken wing up. Austin now a game-high 15 points tonight.
Wow, just early. Barrier, there was no help side defense on the backside. A little bit of mismatch there. They recognized where the mismatch was going to be. And just a little too aggressive there by Hines Allen.
You know, sometimes for players like Hines Allen, they have so much upper body strength that of no fault to themselves, players just kind of collide off of them. I'm not sure if that's what happened there or not, as Area Finn strokes a three.
Stretch the flow, Kiki. That's how you get it done, and she just lined it up there.
Well, in the first two games for Indiana, there were times where their defense was totally out of sorts. They allowed 107 to Dallas. But at no point in either the game against the Wings or the Sparks did you ever question the offense.
Right.
And it's been a little startling to question that here for a couple quarters. An inbound to Citron as Washington just continues to pour it on, and Stephanie White will take a timeout.
As soon as that ball hits the ground, when the Fever have the basketball, that head is on a swivel, foot's in the paint, they're clogging it up, and then also recovering to that three-point line. Doesn't help that the Indiana Fever are ice cold right now, but they've got to be able to find ways to get it in there and stretch the floor.
Fever look to mount a comeback. This will be a big 90 seconds here. Can they cut into this deficit before the fourth? Make it more manageable. Clark, corner, Hines Allen wide open. The Fever's open looks around the perimeter have not been with their shooters. Washington's game plan has been really good. Prosper just had it wrenched out by Hull. Harris, Clark. Drives on Citron. Clark up and under, blocked by Area Finn. But loose ball goes to Billings, who couldn't finish inside. Offensive rebound. Hull will feed back inside for Billings. Billings back for Hull, who connects.
That was gritty right there. Not a pretty possession, but super gritty. Not letting anything easy go. Getting off those 50-50 balls, trying to make a play.
Austin attacking Billings. Difficult look and just powers through Billings.
I mean, what? Nice off the glass look, just like she wanted it.
And Prosper called for the foul. Clark able to wrong footer. That is the fourth on Prosper. And Clark will go to the line. Indiana's had a couple opportunities here with Washington in the penalty for most of the quarter, but not able to take advantage of it like I think Stephanie White would have liked.
Yeah, exactly. It's that next thing, though. Again, just seeing something, and I know it's early. Both teams are trying to get their chemistry down, but see if we can play through if they can play through the adversity here.
Clark sinks the pair. 11 points, 4 assists, but it's been a hard-earned 11. 2 of 14 from the floor. 5-second difference, shot clock and game clock here. Hull is hounding Citron. Knocked away, Harris with the steal. Clark running the floor, blocked by Austin. Oh, she has just been the epitome of a rim protector here tonight.
Yep. I'm talking just the athleticism, the length, the speed, the timing, the block. Not bad.
Corner, Hull is open, and the three ball stays down. Indiana gets 3 out of it. So they're back within 9. Final few seconds here, and Amor never saw it. The Mystics at 5 points.
On the swivel, see if it can translate into offense. Then offensively, you got to knock down shots. And I know they're not out there to miss, but someone's got to get hot to see if they can lead their team.
It was Kiki Iriafin who got hot in the third quarter, 17 third quarter points. Austin was the leader in the second quarter. Step through Enemis. Clark pulls down the rebound, and we were hoping for a fresh reset here in the fourth. And before they can get there, an offensive moving screen. Hines Allen's been called for a couple of these.
Yeah.
They're just momentum killers.
Yep, hands high or not, you got to be set. Nothing intentional there, but got to know where that player is.
Austin inside on Clark. Austin over there to give help. McMahon spins, fades, fires, and hits.
I like that. I like that. That's just beautiful basketball right there. Get the hit, and then the fadeaway.
Hand off Clark, off the screen, fire away, drops a three.
Much needed there by Caitlin Clark. Start feeling good on that outside, and she's hit a couple already early. The third one.
It's amazing, her ability to single-handedly bring this crowd to its feet. Searching for something, anything. Iriafin misses. Here's Clark in transition where she's most dangerous. Putting on the moves. Amor sticks with her. Clark. Bullseye!
CC cooking now. He said this game is far from over. You better buckle up.
2 threes in the first quarter. And that's a kick ball on Hines Allen. 2 threes to start the fourth.
Coming in. That one right there, that first one was, okay, I got it. This one here might have been a bit of a heat check as it was pressured, but that's her game right there.
She is 4 of 9 from the three-point line, 0 of 8 inside the arc. That's kind of been the opposite of her story so far this season. And a little too aggressive there by Lexi Hull, called for the foul. You know, that's not a bad gamble if you're Hull.
Yeah, I agree. And it's early. No shot attempts or no free throws here. Yeah, keep that momentum. Requires the intensity on defense to stay where it's at.
She has a way of lifting the defense like Caitlin
Good
Clark
finish to
does the
the
offense. They're going to be big minutes for Hull, who's played 17 tonight, the most of her brief season. She's been on a minute restriction. Inside, dangerous pass stolen by Clark. 2-on-1, Clark bouncing, Billings is fouled.
This game's all about runs. All about runs, no matter what you did in the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes, all about how you finish in that run here. It's a great three-quarter defense by Caitlin Clark, reading the ball there, great distribution there, and foul.
Billings missing on the first of 2. She is a 76% free throw shooter. Indiana 9 of 12 from the line here tonight. Billings knocks down the second. Indiana's pulled back within 4. That was their halftime deficit. They trailed by 14 late in the third.
One possession at a time. Can't get it all back at once.
Amor through a litany of screens. Just runs into Harris, runs into Billings. Another turnover, and that should be a transition take foul.
Now that not play. It's big threes. See if Indiana Fever can capitalize on it.
So it never was ruled a transition take foul. Despite what the Fever bench thought, it certainly appeared like it could have been. Fever with the ball here, down by 4. Mitchell back into the game. 14 points here tonight. Clark off the screen. Inside, Hines Allen for 2.
Okay, there. Shakira Austin playing it a bit safe on that one as she kind of stunted and came back to her player. I would have pressed up on that one.
Harmon deep inside. Iriafin had it knocked away. Working on Hines Allen. Leaves it short. Hines Allen pulled it down. We have not seen Aaliyah Boston here in a little bit. Clark thought about the three. Circles around. Fires away. And hits!
A CC takeover at the moment. And she is red hot.
And Indiana has taken their first lead since the second quarter. Citron driving on hole and drew the foul. That was such a crafty move by Sonia Citron. And her team desperately needed a bucket. She'll go to the line.
Sizing up the defense. A great closeout by Kiki. By no means did she not suspect that was going up, but when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
A 22 for Washington, an immediate response. This game was 67-53, so it was a 17-2 blitz by Indiana. Let's go down to Kelsey Casper.
Well, guys, Indiana Fever PR just told me that Aaliyah Boston is out for the remainder of the game with a lower leg injury. No information at this time, but she will not return in these final 6.5 minutes.
Remember, she has been dealing with a lower leg injury that dates back to her play in Unrivaled, so that's certainly not what you're hoping to hear if you're Indiana. As Washington has taken the lead back. Clark, step back. Well, she took a tumble, didn't get the whistle.
Talk about a heat check. Half-court heat check, maybe.
Inside for Betts, it's too strong. Well, I'll tell you what, Hines Allen really has a battle on her hands now. She is undersized for this matchup here. But she has done a great job on the defensive end.
Yeah, she's a vet in this league. Moved around a couple places. There's a great pickup for the Indiana Fever organization for what she brings, experience and some leadership. And now with Aaliyah Boston being out, she's going to have to fill some big shoes here.
Mitchell back for Clark off a double screen. Mitchell is open, extra pass deflected. Good hands there by Citron. Cunningham takes it in and lays it in.
Multi-dimensional, can't just get stuck out on the arc. You still got to be able to be a presence and a force inside. That's a good take by Sophie Cunningham.
Citron on the attack, the left hand, and it stays down. Fire ahead, Clark to a running Billings. Oh, she couldn't finish inside. Oh, a big miss there for Indiana after Billings was home free. That's a defensive foul on the Fever. That is a big momentum swing.
Now, as I was getting ready to compliment Citron and everything she was getting ready to do, playing .5 basketball out there and getting it out quick, miss or make. That ball is getting out and down the floor.
Citron with Knights. Iriafin with 17 tonight. That left hand, she gets it to go. Difficult look. Clark with Indiana down by 3. Inside for Cunningham, who was tackled on the baseline.
Has Kiki shot a regular shot yet? I mean, can we go back a little bit just to see if there hasn't been a hand in the face and pressed up body on her? Because I don't think every single shot she has made has been extremely difficult.
Mitchell, catch and shoot. The Fever are all of a sudden getting great looks. Haven't been able to make the last couple go down. Citron on the drive, bounces Iriafin. Billings gives help. Prosper missing on a 3. This is where the Fever have gotten it done in transition. And it's been Clark at the controls. Clark on the drive. And Clark lays it in.
Okay. And that was a safe bet as Clark runs back with their arms flaring up, trying to get this crowd on their feet.
Clark overplayed the McMahon pass. McMahon can't pay her off. And out of bounds off of Indiana.
Attacking that top foot what made that successful in the downhill. It's a good job by not fouling. But you can't open up the floodgates once that front foot is attacked.
So Shakira Austin back in, and how will the Fever deal with this front court without Aaliyah Boston? So far pretty good, but Austin has sat the last few minutes.
Yeah, Austin should be smelling blood in the water.
Citron thought about the three, drives. Here is Austin on Billings, step through, difficult look. Billings played that exceptionally well. Clark, oh, beautiful find. Mitchell finishes. The no-look pass and the no-look shot.
That duo there, they'll get it done every time. They just know where to put the ball. It's almost like telepathy right there.
Indiana back in front. Iriafin, Prosper, extra pass, beautiful find for Washington. And Iriafin on a second effort puts Washington back in the lead. We go back and forth here, final 4 minutes. Mitchell attacking Citron, reverse is blocked, but there's a foul in there as well. And Citron didn't argue it. Hines Allen is 6'1", Austin is 6'5". Well, yeah, that sub can't happen because it comes on a challenge.
Yeah.
Which actually works perhaps in Indiana's favor here. Nice job by our officials for getting that sorted out. T.R. Cruz, Gina Cross, and Kelsey Reynolds, your three refs here tonight. Making sure that the 10 players that were on the floor when the foul overturn happened are the 10 that are still here.
Yeah. I understand why Stephanie White wanted KK Timpson in there for the simple fact that she has some athletic abilities out this world as well.
Billings is 6'4", Austin is 6'5", and Austin wins the tip. So a 1-point lead and the ball for Washington with 3:10 left to play. Can this young group get it done down the stretch? Prosper being watched by Clark. Inside Austin, double team, find it, Iriafin.
And they're going to keep on growing and getting better and better for that. They already have a year under them, but my goodness, they're a force to be reckoned with down there in that front court.
Clark sees two. Here's Hines Allen. Tries to get it back to Clark. Shot clock already down to 8. Cunningham, handoff Billings. Billings has to create. Billings spinning on Austin and couldn't finish when she got there. Nice move with that shot clock winding down. Just couldn't finish with the left hand. Billings has had a couple she would like back here in the fourth.
Yep. Great defense there by Austin.
And Mitchell a little too aggressive. That is Indiana's 4th team foul.
That was smart by Georgia Amore there as she came off the screen, kind of slowed herself up. The momentum of Kelsey Mitchell still going forward, able to pick up that foul.
So defensive fouls from here on out will lead to Washington free throws. The Mystics still have a foul to give. Austin being hounded by Billings. And Citron trips, and there is that 5th foul. And that is, if you're Indiana, the last person you wanted to send to the line.
Man, yeah. I would agree. Coming off. Again, Citron, this must be practiced in training camp of just reading the defense off of that screen. Do you snake it? Do you wait? Do you explode? Put it in the free throw.
A 6-0 run by the Mystics gives Washington some breathing room here. A 5-point lead with 2:05 left to play. Mitchell crossing over. Too strong on a 3-ball. Billings gets her hands in there and will force the jump ball that we just saw between these two.
Yeah. Try not to give up on the play there. Could have been home free. Well, these are pivotal possessions here. Got to get a good possession. There's some pushing and shoving down low.
Well, Hines Allen realized that that was far too easy last time for Eriefin, and she wants some position over there. Hines Allen says, I would like that same spot, please. Tip back and well done. Austin has done a really nice job on these last 2 jump balls. Citron being hounded by Hull. Spins around, flips it up, and gets the foul call. And does Stephanie White want a challenge on her bench? She gets the signal, and she will challenge. Really have to be impressed with Washington's resiliency. The Fever have hit this Mystics team with a serious haymaker, and this young Washington group has answered right back. Hines Allen on a handoff to Clark. Oh yeah!
That was just nasty. Not much you can do on the defense there. Caitlin Clark fired up. Better know where she's at in transition.
That is their 6-3 here tonight. Indiana down by 4. Because she's so dangerous. But you end up picking up a foul. 70 feet from the hoop. That was just the first in the final 2 minutes, so they had a foul to give.
Citron doing Citron things. Turn around, in your face type of jumper. That's just beautiful work there.
They'll run the same play. Clark launches. That one in and out.
Thought it open. It was more open on that one than it was the last one.
Now Indiana in dire straits, and Clark's going to be called for the foul here at about 42 feet.
Now this one is interesting because the refs probably thought that they needed to foul early to kind of give them a benefit of the doubt to stop it. But from all the physical play that we've seen, it's an interesting call that they've decided to call. Yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a reach in there. I'll take it back.
Oh, we've seen the freedom of movement emphasized, and that pendulum certainly swings both ways. Amor, 2 of 2 from the line. Washington just continues their expert play here down the stretch. Fever will take a reset timeout. But the Mystics, after going down in the 4th quarter, have outscored Indiana 12-3. And now the Fever, their chances are dwindling with just over 50 seconds left to play. Hines Allen takes it at Eriefin, a fake and a finish.
Yeah, just to hit on what you just said, what a response. They didn't panic, they stayed poised, they stayed in it, they stayed reluctant. Able to regain the lead there.
Oh, Amor nearly got away with steps. I do think she just got that pass away. Prosper threw it away. Austin was down there, and now it's Clark. Handoff, Mitchell hits a 3. It's a 3-point game, and there's still 4.5 seconds between shot and game clock. Big count remaining. They do not have a foul to give. Austin is trapped. Austin having trouble, gets it to Citron. And first, Sydney Johnson wisely took a timeout as he had his center in a world of hurt in the corner there.
Yeah, that was good defensive pressure. Great read to go and trap, forcing Austin into the corner. She got it out. It could have been an easy dump through, but...
We'll be back in just a moment. Hear from him offensively. Shakira Austin dominated the first half. Kiki Eriefin has been dominant in the second half. So too has Sonia Citron, and Amor has organized everything nicely here tonight for the Mystics. The Austin screen. Amor turns the corner, bounces inside. Iriafin couldn't finish, came down with it. Hines Allen pulled it away, and Hines Allen was fouled. Woo. Oh, Iriafin was home free to essentially put this game on ice. And Iriafin, who was 10 of 15 for high fives.
And, I mean, going back, fast forwarding to the last matchup here when they were playing against Dallas, they lost by 3 with 2 great looks. So that sticks with you, not in the sense of I'm afraid to shoot the ball, but they remember how they felt after both of those threes didn't go down.
Will it be Mitchell? Will it be Clark? Cunningham looking. First it's Hines Allen. Handoff Clark for the tie. Yes! Caitlin Clark has tied the game with under 2 seconds left to play. 22 has done it again.
Execution right there is what got that one done. Freed up. Everybody did their job flawlessly. And they were able to get a wide open-ish Caitlin Clark for the 3-ball.
Her 7th 3 of the night is one of the most clutch of her WNBA career. No timeout. Citron, will she even get one away? She will fire and hit! Citron from half court! Was it off in time? Did Sonia Citron just stun the Fever faithful? Cunningham to inbound. Here is Clark. Clark off the screen, on the drive. Kick back Mitchell. Mitchell will attack. Floater is short. Iriafin pulls it down and is fouled.
Didn't necessarily need a 3, even being down by.
Inbound to Citron, who lost it, got it back. And they'll foul Harmon, who you'd much rather send to the line than Citron.
Yep.
A rookie situations all early season long. Tonight she did so in Dallas. Cunningham to inbound, looking for Clark. Here is Clark. Back for Hull, shot fakes, fires, and hits! It's a 1-point game. The Fever will not go away.
You talk about magic.
Immediate foul. McMahon having trouble and just gets it in. Inbound to Mitchell. Can Mitchell win it? Off the screen. Mitchell for the win. Oh, it's short, and Washington survives.
Gotta give it to Washington. They've done a tremendous job closing that one out.